Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you again so much for our time together. Revival night again tonight at Main Campus, 7 o'clock. I'm going to begin teaching you on the remnant must rise up. That this remnant that God has chosen by grace and set aside, there comes a point not just to stand up, there comes a point to rise up and begin to do the work that God has called us to do. But right now, I want us to go to Luke chapter 22, and I want us to look at just one phrase, verse 66. Now remember, I sometimes like to look at these little nuances of Scripture that we overlook, but we can do that in daily devotions. At daybreak, the council of elders of the people, both the chief priests, notice the plurality, there's not just one chief priest, as biblically there was to be, there's a family of them, and teachers of the law met together, and Jesus was led before them at daybreak. Now, to put this in context of the chronology of that first Holy Week, Jesus has been betrayed in the garden. Jesus has appeared before Annas, the kingmaker and former high priest who created this high priestly dynasty from the old Hasmonean dynasty. Jesus has now been brought for an illegal trial before the multiple chief priestly family and the Sanhedrin court, but they could not render a decision because it was an illegal trial. They were not allowed to meet together at night. So they went home and went to sleep. Jesus has spent the night in that pit underneath Caiaphas' house, and now he is brought to the temple courts, to the Sanhedrin chamber, to face them, and verdict is pronounced. This is the legal trial. Now I would like you to notice this happened at daybreak. As soon as the sun was up and the Roman law allowed them to have a public meeting, at daybreak, Jesus was brought before the Sanhedrin court. That's verse 66. Now, from daybreak until the crucifixion of Jesus, we have the trial before the elders, Sanhedrin. We have the trial before Pilate. We have the trial before Herod. We have his second appearance before Pilate. We have his mocking, his beating, the scourging, the crown of thorns put upon his head, the skin ripped off of his back, the second approval of Pilate. And all of that is between daybreak and the crucifixion taking place at 9 a.m. Mark 15, verse 25, spots it at 9 a.m. So, in between 3 and a 3.5 hour period, we have the legal decision of the elders, the trial before Pilate, the trial before Herod, the beating, the mocking, the second appearance before Pilate, and him being nailed to the cross, all in 3 to 3.5 hours. The principle I want you to see here: evil men move very fast. They recognize we have only a small window of opportunity, and because they are not constrained by right and wrong, evil men can move very fast. Now, sometimes you and I as Christians, we're very naive of this world, and that's a good thing. Please, I do not criticize that in any way, shape, or form. In fact, the Bible teaches us to be naive in the things of this world, but wise in the things of the Spirit. But that said, maybe a little of our naivety needs to be removed and recognize that evil men move very quick. That when they have an opportunity, because they are not restrained by the same rights and wrongs you and I are, evil men can get things done very fast.